Haven, Connecticut. It's the CIAC Division I first round. A matchup tonight between the number 9 Ridgefield Tigers and the number 8 Notre Dame of West Haven Green Knights. Good evening, everyone. Along with Joey Delgado, Justin Coa, Ben Rosado, I'm Rob Adams, and we look forward to this matchup this evening. We will listen to the introductions from right down below us as we get set for an 8-9 matchup between these two top flight programs in Ridgefield and Notre Dame.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to West Haven Notre Dame. This is the CIAC Division I first round ball matchup between the Ridgefield Tigers and Notre Dame West Haven Green Knights. Here are the teams starting out. First, representing Ridgefield, starting at defense is number 22, Carson Hall. Starting at defense, number 14, Brandon Kaiser. Starting at forward, number 17, Joey Gallup. Starting at forward, number 13, Tim Gallagher. Starting at forward, number 6, Lennon Berkeley. And starting at Westfield is number 35, James Green. And the rest of the players are coached by Rob Miller. For both teams, the names, starting at defense is number 14, Xavier Jacob. Starting at defense, number 40, Gavin Leatherhouse. Starting at forward, number 10, Matt Kelly. Starting at forward, number 19, Nathan Barrett. Starting at forward, number 90, Ethan Kelly. And starting at the Blue Knights is number 1, Aiden Turner. And the West Haven Notre Dame coached by Larry Aaron. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, this is James Ross, and your hats for the play.
And so we get ready for this one between the Tigers and the Green Knights. Notre Dame West Haven, they will be in the green this evening. You see them with family on the back of their sweaters. Where a name would normally go, they believe they are family, and they certainly have been one of the standout programs in Connecticut hockey history. They are the number 4 team in the state of Connecticut according to the Game Time CT poll. A record that doesn't overwhelm you. They are 8-13-1 out of the SEC, where they were 3-1, and they lost to Fairfield Prep in the SEC championship. Ridgefield at 8-14 on the year, 4-6 out of the FCIAC. They lost to to New Canaan 5-1 in the FCIAC semifinals. Winner of this game gets a date with the New Canaan Rams. That game would be Saturday at the Darien Ice House. But you look at the records and you say, well, how can a team that is 8-13-1, be number 4 in the state. Simple. Look at the schedule of teams Notre Dame has played. It is a loaded schedule. And at one point, they were 1-6-1 early in the season. That's how they started it. And they had their hands full right from the get-go. They were playing teams like Don Bosco out of New Jersey, Boston College High School, and teams from the Midwest. Notre Dame in the green, Ridgefield in the black. They're already scrumming at center ice. Let's go. Face-off won by the Green Knights. Larry Bear, their head coach, worked it back out through the neutral zone and sent down the left side. Picked up by the Tigers. Will work to the near boards in their own end, trying to serve it back out. Matt Kelly down there for the Knights, as we said, in the green. It's one of those rare nights where you've got, dare I say, color on color, with the black sweaters of Ridgefield and the green sweaters of Notre Dame, but I like it. Comes over into the near corner in the Notre Dame zone. Aiden Sherman, the senior, in net for the Knights as we get an icing early on. 14:20 to go first period. We're just warming things up here in what my old broadcast partner John Spang used to call the House of Horrors, as he and I called a few up here. John and I did Greenwich High games for many years, and he and I would always laugh every time we had to come do a game because Greenwich and the 2 West Haven teams would mix it up. And it was the House of Horrors, as John would call it. Off the face-off, it'll be scooped up by the Knights. They're skating down in a 2-on-0, and they score! On the tick, the tack, and the toe, and the finish. 48 seconds in, it's 1-0 Notre Dame. That was filthy. Look at the finish right here. And when you've got a 2-on-0 against the goaltender, there's literally nothing you can do. You just hope, as a goaltender, you choose correctly. And that's a tough spot to be in. Face-off controlled by the Tigers, as they find themselves down 1-0 early on. They give the goal to Dominic DiCiaccio, the senior, assisted by Dylan DiCiaccio at 48 seconds of the first. And Notre Dame holds a 1-0 lead, as play is stopped with 13:36 to go in the opening frame. So for the Tigers, you have to get into the mindset that, look, we're a minute and a half in, barely. Shake it off. You got a long game ahead of you. Don't get in, don't get into things. A lot of hockey to be played here. Just straighten it out and go from there. Off the face-off, played into the near corner, hitting near the end boards as it heads to the corner. Picked right back up by the Knights. They lead 1-0 as they play to the high slot. Sent back down to the end boards, swept to the corner, or rather to the right circle, I beg your pardon, and they turn and they fire for more. It was scooped up by Kelly, and into the corner it goes. 1-0 with 12:57 to go in the first, and out of the zone. Literally all of the play early on has been in the Tiger zone. Stepping back across, feathered ahead by Blake Delmonico into the right corner. 1-0 with 12:38 remaining in the first period. And it was actually Ethan Kelly, but back to the other end it goes. And scooped up by Sherman. Here come the Knights, working to center. Got knocked away for a moment. Tigers able to turn it around. George Avellani was there for the Tigers. But right now, it's all Notre Dame. Although 1-0. 12-12 to go first period, so no need to panic. Avellani comes up with it, looking up ice, but poked away from him, and this will get covered up by James Britton. 12:04 to go, first period, 1-0. As we look at the netminder for the Ridgefield Tigers. One of the excellent high schools for sports in the state of Connecticut. Always pleased to cover Ridgefield sports. Into the near side it goes, bounced off the near boards and out to center. Picked back up and swept over through the neutral zone. Snagged and thrown across the line. Starting it was Gavin Nethercott. They got played behind the net, thrown off the netting. That'll stop play with 11:39 to go in the first. So right now it's little undisciplined, little tough to find a rhythm in this game, but it's 1-0. So Notre Dame will say, okay, we're not concerned with rhythm, we're leading. Face-off will come to the right wing circle. DiCiaccio will take it for the Green Knights. They get the face-off win, played just inside the blue line, dumped down to the left corner. Back to the left point, kept alive. Blast coming, score! That thing was fired from Branford. It's 2-0. Look at this. Brett Franco set just inside the blue line, and he just rips it. 2-0. So again, for Ridgefield, you got to put it out of your mind and play your game. The Knights win the face-off, dump it into the Tiger zone. Popped up, it gets out of the zone, but the Tigers just cannot get on top of it. Immediately, Troy Battisti comes over for Notre Dame and rips it off. Down the left side it goes for Hertwig into the corner for Ridgefield. 2-0 Notre Dame, 11:01 to go, first period. Right point. So Franco from Battisti and Mitchell. And it's 2-0. Puck stays alive in the Notre Dame zone. That's a high save made through traffic as that just popped up into the body of Sherman. That's not always the easiest play to make as he's going to cover up here with 10:18 to go in the first. Get a look from behind the net. And down the other end. Working hard here early on. 2-0, 10:18 to go first period. Face off in the near circle. Avellani takes it for the Tigers. To the left side board it goes into the corner. Jacob there for the Knights. Far side, Mitchell to play it out. Skating through the neutral zone but broken up. Turned right back around. For the Tigers, you start with one. You're down two with 9:58 to go in the first. But this getting a little ugly as it comes down the left side, and that's DiCiaccio. Plays it to the hash marks. Leaves it at the point. Broken up there. Served back to center. And down on net. So resetting with Bennett Rose, the sophomore, for Ridgefield with 9:39 to go in the opening stanza. To the left corner. Inside a building that was dedicated in 1971 in honor of Edward L. Bennett. Kept in, and this will come down on net. Punched over into the far corner. And that's something the Tigers have to do. Without physically punching, they got to punch back somehow. But we are not advocating violence in high school sports. Played behind the net. Far boards. picked right back up and on the doorstep with a little extra poke from DiCiaccio at the end of the play. But that's how you get in the head of a netminder. 9:08 to go, first period, 2-0. They'll put the face-off in the far circle. Hertwig will, or check that, Blake Burke-Robson will take it for the Tigers. From the high slot, collected over on the near side boards. In the corner, trapped, Marzek over there for ND. But coming out with it was Carson Blockley. He'll start out at the blue line, turned over though, and out of the zone. Picked up by the Tigers, then taken away immediately. Notre Dame with the answers as they bring it out with a 2-0 lead, 8:34 to go in the first period. Turned around by Ridgefield. The headman pass comes out and all the way down the left side. And the hitting getting slammed down, upended, was Couch. Back the other way it goes with Kelly. Kelly from the slot. Oh, the rebound was there off the side, looking for the stuff home. And play halted with 8:14 to go in the first period. And Britton kind of looking up and saying, okay, play's over. Go away. Watch it here. There's that rebound right there. And that's where Britton able to get the glove on it. From the near circle. And they're going to blow it dead for a false start. So Avellani will go back into the circle as Connor Battipaglia gets kicked out. Looks like Bobby Pord will take the draw. Nope. Battipaglia is back in there. All right, all is well. Into the corner. 8:05 to go first period, 2-0. In the corner, it stays there. Avellani looking up ice. Played off into the corner once more. Cycling around. Far boards held in. Save off the pad and just reaching, they punch it out of the zone. Good job by the Tigers to clear it. That was Jack DeMarco who just got a stick on it and said, all right, let's get it out of harm's way. Good chance to reset. Xavier Jacob will start it. Jacob going coast to coast as he goes right circle. Centering try was broken up by the sliding body. I believe it was Hudson Block who did so. Cleared out and across the line. 7:17 to go first period as an icing is called and play stops. 2-0 Notre Dame. A lot of games in action all throughout D1, D2, and D3. As this high school tournament turns toward the semis and the championship at Quinnipiac. The girls will play their championship, in fact, there tomorrow, or perhaps tonight. I have to double check. I believe, come to think of it, it is tonight. This turned over, it goes left circle. Rister coming down. Rebound was there for a moment. Back to the point. Snagged away, but stays alive and stays in the zone. So Ridgefield just has to step away and reset. Gallagher looking to clear. And now cleared by Blockley, and that's not the clear you want. That'll be an icing with 6:48 to go in the first. This was the home of the CHS GHA championships for several years. I called, in fact, I think that's the last time I worked in Bennett Rink. I worked a couple of girls hockey championships here. And it seemed like either Notre Dame, or rather New Canaan or Darien were winning every year. Face off in the near circle. Getting booted was Couch. So now Gallagher will take the draw. DiCiaccio takes it for the Knights. Left at the point. Sent down, blocked, turned around, held in, left point. Kept alive, now pushed out. Reaching for it was Gallagher. Down the left side he went as it spun around and brought out. DiCiaccio going the other way, doing what he does to the left circle. Left behind with 6:20 to go. He'll set up shop there. Tried a centering pass, but it got lifted out of play. The CHS GHA, the girls hockey tournament, if you didn't know, really was the result of the 2015 championship. I called that one as well, down in Stamford. And what a mess. It made national news if you didn't know that story. Face off in the far circle. Face off won by the Knights, feathered down, goes off to the side. Into the left corner. Looking to pick it up there. Worked back out, but taken away. Xavier Jacob has the answer for the Knights. To the end boards, looking to go behind the net. Jacob will scoop it. Far boards and out with 5:50 to go, period number 1. 2-0. Goals at 48 and 3:30. So quick start on the night for Notre Dame. Kelly will carry back out into his own zone, play a little game, and send it across the line. Punched across by Marzak. Played from behind the net, far side. And that'll hit the roof and hit the ceiling, and play is stopped. When you deal with these kinds of buildings, you often have that low ceiling, so you don't have a lot of room to work with. .5:28 to go, first period. Crowd still filling in. We might be about as high as we're going to get tonight. I'm not sure we'll get many more people than what we have. From behind the net in the Ridgefield zone. Far boards held in by the Knights. They turn it right back around. Send into the corner. Tigers can't clear it out. It's kept alive. Reaching for it, that's a turnover. Sits in the slot, turned back out. So finally able to get something going. They bring it across, and the hitting picks up. A greeting as it goes the other way. Reaching here, stuff in, tried. Good save made by Britton. Turned to the near circle and played out. But that clear will result in an icing. 4:45 to go. In the first, it's 2-0. As you get a look right there. Coming right down. Did it go? No, not quite. There are goal judges at this time of year. So they will light the lamp, literally. And the face-off from the near circle. Tigers get the win. Near side for Hertwig. Sent back out. Brought across. And again, hard hitting. Nethercott down there to say howdy do with 4:27 remaining in the first. Swept out of the zone, and the race on. Back to get it goes Blockley. Into the corner on a pretty give, almost behind his back. What a fine play by Ethan Kelly. Still, it stays at 2-0 with 4:09 to go in the first. And that long blast goes off the glass. Looking behind the net, stays back there, swept out in front. Knights keep it going, but a block. That got a piece, I think, of Hertwig, and he did not look thrilled with it. And in fact, he'll go for a change. 3:47 to go, first period. Stays at 2-0. Brought back across the line as by Battapaglia. Down the right side. And again, the hitting pretty heavy. Blake Delmonico with a greeting. And that might be, is that going to be our first penalty of the night? I think it is. I've yet to see an actual call, but there is someone getting shown the gate. And it is a Ridgefield player heading off. We have an interference and a roughing at play here with 3.5 to go in the first. So it takes a moment to figure all that out. If 8's your lucky number, you got 8 in one box and 88 in another. To the near circle off the draw. They did not put penalty times on the board. So keep that in mind. So it was out in front. And we are skating from the looks of it. I think we are, yeah, I can count. We're skating 5 aside. So no penalty time because no loss of manpower. Back to pick it up goes Franco. Wheeling around to the near side for Notre Dame. So perhaps you heard it. Delmonico got the interference, and it was Avalani getting the 2 minutes for roughing. 2.5 to go first period. Still 2-0. And worked around to the near side in the Ridgefield zone down to our right, which is kind of where the puck has been most of the period. As the Knights pick it back up. Turn to the right circle. Just working across to the point. Oh, that was a bouncing puck that deflected off to the right corner. Kept alive on the near side and worked back out. DeMarco sends it across. He'll go for a change. Keeping an eye on things is Gallagher. Gallagher almost got it on a little bit of a misdirection. Turn to the near side. 1:54 to go in the first. And icing going the other way. So we'll get a face-off in the Notre Dame zone with 1:51 remaining in period number 1. We are so fortunate here, Joey and I, on this platform at center ice. Once upon a time, this did not exist. Face off in the near circle. Picked up by the Knights, thrown around. Top of the right circle, sent down, that'll be held on to. One thing Aiden Sherman hasn't had to do is much of that, but he came up with that one. 1:43 to go in the first. At one point, there was not a media or production facility. These buildings aren't created for that. So I can remember actually sitting in the stands to call games, at least for radio broadcasts. Into the right corner. Tigers down 2-0. 1:35 to go first period. Out to center. Picked up. Mitchell. Mitchell skates down. Save made. Britton, who initially, as he looked to his right, realized the puck was to his left. He couldn't find it initially. They'll go to the far side. And the Knights will play it back in their own end. 1:10 to go in the period. So this is a case on those penalties. Those players can't come out until the next whistle. They had to get the 2 minutes out of the way. But we're inside a minute. They might just stay there for the rest of the period. Taken across the line. Here's Pachaccio. Just reaching for it near the slot as he was getting upended by Blockley. Into the corner behind the net, looking near side. 44 to go in the period, still 2-0. Turned over at the blue line. Brought out by Franco. Franco brings it across. Past the hash marks. Tried the sharp angle. It'll get lifted toward the corner, but around to the near side now. Playing it, Hertwig. Looking all the way down, but it'll be taken by a Green Knight with 20 remaining in period 1. In some ways, I realize scoreboard-wise, you're not going to be thrilled if you're a Tiger fan, but if you've survived down 2-0, you can now get to the locker room with 8 remaining and maybe get some things straightened out. And it looks like period 1 will come to an end at 2-0, and it will. So Notre Dame gets the early goal at 48 seconds in. They get another one at 3.5 minutes. And they lead 2-0 after 1. And if you heard, 13 saves for Ridgefield's James Britton, where Notre Dame's Aiden Sherman made 4 saves. That gives you an idea that the Tigers aren't creating enough traffic in front of the net. That's something I'll have to talk about between periods. We are through 1 of this CIAC Division I first round game, and our score The Notre Dame Green Knights 2, the Ridgefield Tigers nothing. Thrilled to be bringing it to you on MVP TV. And what we said at the end of the period is really the way that the Tigers have to go. They have to create traffic in the offensive zone because they've been backpedaling all night. So much of the action was in Ridgefield's end that they never really had a chance to play their game offensively. They had to be on defense almost the entire time. You heard saves from the period, and it was in the neighborhood of, I think, 13-4. So when you do the math, you add 2 for the goals, that's 15-4 at that point. And Ridgefield just unable to get much going in period 1, but you got 2 whole periods ahead of you, and there's a lot of time. And you're playing, when you're Ridgefield, you play a very competitive CIAC schedule with a couple of out-of-conference games. So let's not make it sound like Ridgefield plays no one by comparison to what Notre Dame does. You have a couple of meetings throughout the year with the New Canaan Rams and the Darien Blue Wave. Those are numbers 1 and 2 in the state. Fairfield Prep, number 3. Then Notre Dame West Haven, Cheshire 5, Simsbury number 6. And the bottom 4 are East Haven, Greenwich, who the Tigers also played, Northwest Catholic, and Xavier. So you've seen a lot of these teams. And a hug down to our left. Carson Blockley going over to James Britton and saying, you're our guy. You've led us this far. He made his 1,000th career save back in February. Let's go. Period 2 underway. Bodies colliding, and I think there's going to be an early penalty. Literally right off the face-off, 5 seconds in. And a little exchange of ideas. Gallagher chatting. Looks like it might have been Gallagher and Kelly were both chatting. Well, they're going to send 2 off. Nethercott and Couch both go. 5 seconds in. And they will reset the face-off at center ice. But again, this will be no loss of manpower. It'll be 5-on-5. So they'll announce it, but it doesn't go up on the clock. And again, a penalty. This time a cross-check, and this time it is Ethan Kelly going off. And this time it will result in a power play, so we're seeing a little bit of everything. So a break for the Tigers, down 2-0. I always feel bad for people down in the scorer's table, in the scorer's booth at this time, and I've done that, where you've got to tally all these penalties and then make the announcements. So that's everything. Nethercott went for interference. Couch went off for roughing. And then off went Kelly for a cross check. And there's 1:25 remaining on a Ridgefield power play. But here come the Knights looking for more. Rister from the left circle by Franco. He already has a goal this evening. Now back the other way. Down close, but unable to get a lot on it. Turned around to the near side and out of the zone. Chase on going the other way. Gallagher back to pick it up as Britton leaves it aside. 2-0. Notre Dame on top. Rob Adams with you from the Edward Bennett Ice Rink on the campus of West Haven High School. Back to pick it up. They'll play it behind the net. 47 to go. On the penalty, brought across the line down the left side. Turning was DeMarco from the high slot. Save made by Sherman. That rebound did exist. Goes to the right circle. Half minute remaining on the power play. Turns just inside the point. Fanning initially. It gets brought back to Gallagher. Gallagher wheeling through traffic. And that was a little bit of a worm burner as it goes behind the net. 19 on the power play. 2-0 right now. Left side boards. Back to Gallagher. Gallagher spinning, looking from the slot. Able to get a piece of it was Sherman. 4 remaining on the power play. One more try for the Tigers, but they're going to run out of time. That power play has expired. Off goes Kelly. He gets replaced. Plord comes on and joins the party for Notre Dame. And the puck cleared. 12:38 to go, second period. And they'll blow it dead. And I think the gate is opening again. That is the case. So the officials aren't going to tolerate it. That's what's going on. .12:36 remaining, second period. I have a scorecard format that I've used basically my entire play-by-play career. Nights like this, I run out of room for the penalty lines. Only so many you can write down. Have to go to another sheet. Although not yet. Again, no loss of manpower in this case. As they're going into the right corner. Ridgefield trying to get anything going. They trail 2-0. Out to center as it's put right back down by DiCiaccio. It got punched away from him. So Nethercott will pick it up. Delay of game was the call in that one. That's an interesting one. Delay of game. Stepping across the line, it's thrown out. Tigers bringing it the other way. They're down 2-0. They'll chase over to the left corner. Pinched along there, lifted, and it hit the ceiling. So play gets stopped. 11:33 remaining. Period number 2. See if there is anything to report scoreboard-wise. No, so far it looks like one score has been reported, and I've been the one reporting it. So, can't tell you I got a lot of scoreboard activity for you. Face-off controlled by the Tigers, but they have to play it out to the neutral zone. Turned around by Notre Dame and taken the other way. Marzak goes to the right corner. Work to the far boards, kept out of the zone now as it goes into the neutral zone. One-on-one going the other way. Left side. And the Tigers working from left to right. As this pops up and hits the netting. Play stopped. With the Blue Devil right down at center ice. The West Haven Blue Devils. There have been quite a few events on this campus over the years. Ken Strong Stadium at the south end of this campus has hosted many, and I mean many, state championship football games. I have called several contests at that building not very far away from where we're standing. First game I ever called there involved a young quarterback named Dan Orlovsky. Whatever happened to him? Out of the zone it goes. lifted into the right corner. That was Orlovsky's last game as a high school player. He beat Greenwich for Shelton 22-80 through 2 touchdown passes. He got a copy of the broadcast. He eventually got it from me all those years later. Back to the other end, and icing stops things with 10:37 to go. What does that mean? It just means I'm old and been doing this way too long. They'll bring the face-off back into the Notre Dame zone. They're getting more, are the Tigers, into the night zone, but you've got to get out in front of the net. Into the corner. Turned around and turned out. Here's Kelly. Kelly left circle into the glove of Britton. And that will release the 2 combatants from their respective penalty boxes. In the case of Notre Dame, Ref Franco will stay on the ice. Face off in the near circle in the Ridgefield zone. Notre Dame leading 2-0. That hit a body as it goes left side, stays there. Knights will keep the pressure on. Dancing in down the left side. Battisti was there. To the far boards. Right point. Back it goes. Save made. Britton. Toward the corner. 10 minutes to go. Second period. A stick gets dislodged as it's out in front. But all good as it goes into the near corner. 9:53 remaining into the slot, but that got upended. And right back it goes. Held on to by Britton. .9:48 remaining, period 2. Of course, 'tis the season for all the basketball in the state. We'll see more of that tomorrow. Near side, oh, little collision. Then turned right back. For the Tigers, it was Brizak that got knocked down. And of course, the crowd reacts to every hit. I believe it was Nethercott who hit him. And Nethercott back into his own zone. Obviously, here in West Haven, a largely partisan Notre Dame crowd. Nethercott plays it. He waits, goes cross ice. Punching it out is Jacob. Jacob picks it right back up and across the line. It was Blake Delmonico who was down there. But that'll trickle away and get broken up by Blockley. Sent in a turnover from the right circle. Hard wrister, nothing doing. Turned out. To center it goes, swept right back across the line. Picked up by Avoyani. 8:49 to go in the second. 2-0 Notre Dame. DiCiaccio and Franco, the goals in period 1. Now they're leaving it behind and they score! DiCiaccio gets his second. Notre Dame takes a 3-0 lead. And I believe it'll be Franco who gets the assist, but just leave it behind and then he rifles it. Might have gone top shelf. We'll get a look here from behind the net, but normally when it goes top shelf, that's when you get cute and say that's where grandma hides the cookies, but so be it. And it is DiCiaccio from Franco. 3-0, 8:15 to go in the second. As the Knights send it back into the Tiger zone. Chasing behind the net. No surprise with DiCiaccio. He has been one of the standout players in the state all year, so really not a surprise. As it goes left side. Tacaccio trying to do it off balance, but he flailed and went right down. Turn near the point. Jacob there and out of the zone. Nethercott will have to go and retrieve it. Works to the neutral zone for Dylan Tacaccio and across the line. From the high slot, down it goes. Britton might have gotten a piece of that. Out it comes. Nethercott again. Will play a little keep away. Send it to Kelly. Kelly near side. Dancing forward goes Mitchell. Mitchell in close. And that's held on to by Britton. 7:15 to go in period number 2. As we look from the circle. And the faceoff will go right to that circle. Ethan Kelly will take the draw for Notre Dame. They win it. Heading left, Franco. On the end line and into the corner. Picked up and bounced near side. It snuck away and out of the zone. That'll be an icing. 8 minutes gone here in the second period. 3-0 Notre Dame. And a look in at the Notre Dame bench. Larry Vieira, the head coach. And they have a standard of excellence for sure. And Ridgefield does as well. Let's not say otherwise. Down the right side. Flailing though. Unable to get it. Good try there. Looked like Hertwig had a good look. But near side. A little check off the boards to say hello to Marzak. And that's going to draw something anyway. Going to draw what I think is just going to be an offside with 6:37 to go in the second. The winner plays New Canaan in the quarterfinals. Simsbury and Xavier will be one of the matchups. That'll be the 4-5 game. Darien is the 2 seed. They await the winner of Northwest Catholic and St. Joe's. That game tonight as well. No score reported. Back to the other end. Fairfield Prep awaits the winner of Greenwich and Notre Dame Prep in the 6-11 matchup. That was down at Dorothy Hamill Rink at 4:30 this afternoon, but I have seen nothing. Far side here in a 3-0 game. Stays down that right side. Going the other way. Across the line. Winding all the way around and out of the zone. Picked up and going back the other way in a 1-on-2. Brought across by Kelly. Sent into the left corner. Sweeping over left side. Worked around to the near side boards. Tigers pick it up. They'll go behind the net with Blockley. Blockley right corner. He looks up ice. Nobody home, so Nethercott happy to pick it up. To the blue line and across. Back with Michael Matinek for Notre Dame. To center and across the line steps DeMarco. DeMarco to the left boards. He is joined by Feuerstein for Notre Dame with 5:09 to go in period 2. Notre Dame leading 3-0. They'll collide off the end boards, play into the right corner. Tigers come away with it from the circle. Backhand try. Played to the point, able to keep it in the zone, but it'll get turned out. Bounced ahead and picked up. Burke Robson plays it out for Ridgefield. Cross ice from Franco. And it'll slide down the right side. Reaching for it and getting knocked down. There's a Knight down at the moment, but up on his skates now. Good to see. I believe it was Blake Delmonico skating off on his own. 4:25 to go in the second. Knights will pick it up back in their own end. Nethercott, who you know, a player like Nethercott, you don't necessarily see him on the stat sheet. Oh, but he's there. He's as valuable as anybody. Going back the other way, score! Oh, what a play! Xavier Jacob. A little this, a little that. And he dumps it home. It's 4-0. This is filthy. In the circle. And he just goes to the far post. So right now it's all going Notre Dame's way. The official having a chat. You can hear the official saying, get out of the circle. Both of you get out. And they're looking for more. So the unassisted goal at 10:56 for Xavier Jacob. 3:42 to go. More coming. As over to grab it, a blast that pops up and hits the ceiling, and play stops. 3.5 remaining in the second. 4-0. Notre Dame on top of Ridgefield. They'll bring the face off to the left circle. Kelly will take the draw for Notre Dame. Now he gets thrown out in favor of Marsack. The temperature a little hot in this game, and the officials know it. Breezak brings it across, dumps down to the near side. Held into the circle, high slot. That almost snuck away from Sherman, but not the case. Sherman had it, didn't realize he had it, and then he started kind of looking behind him. Let's see if we get a look. Watch. He makes the save, and then he goes, oh, wait, what? Yeah, I've got it. Okay, yeah, I had it all the time. You didn't know? Still 4-0. Near side from the point. Coming down to 3:10 remaining in period 2. To the neutral zone, broken up. And a good thing, because Nathan Marsack almost stole it and went one-on-one with the goaltender. To the left side, 2:55 remaining in the second. Turn to the far boards. Held in the zone and now out. Tigers starting back, but it's a 2-on-3. Defensively, Notre Dame has been omnipresent. They bring it right back across with Battapaglia. Another save for Britain. Turning into the right corner with 2:26 remaining, period 2. And another busted stick on the ice. Brought over near side, top of the left circle through traffic. That wrister from Franco. Staying behind the net with Gallagher. Unable to turn it out yet. Near side boards. Picked up, looking, slot, score! We'll have to see who they give the goal to. It might have gone to Franco, I think so. Right there. Yeah, I think it was him. See what the official word is. 2:03 remaining in the second. It's 5-0. And the official says both of you get out of the circle. So they're going to reset on the face-off. Hertwig came in and took it for the Tigers. Franco does get the goal. And Ford gets the assist. 1:47 remaining, second period. And the Tigers now chasing a nickel. And able to clear and cover his break. Face off in the Tiger zone in the far circle. Right wing side. Puck put down and controlled. In the corner. Stays in the corner. Right back it goes out in front. But defensively, Caseman was there for the Tigers. Spun around to the right circle, sitting near the slot. Out it comes. Back out with Breezak. Then resetting. Lockley sends down the right side. To 1:05 remaining in period number 2. And Ridgefield trailing 5-0. Tangled up as it comes out and over to the right side. Cleared to center, right out in front of the scorer's table. Turned over, but Fanning on it. Unable to get anything on it. Now to the far side boards. 31 remaining, second period. The Knights starting to dig into some deeper lines. But now it's Kelly with 19 remaining in period 2. The outlet to the near side. Squirts away down the right side, going the other way. That's Caden Smith. As it goes behind, in front, held on to, and getting knocked down was Bennett Rose with 2.9 remaining in the second. So we mentioned the temperature. Let's see. There's the stoppage. And here goes, whee, right there. But nothing bad. It was just friendly fire from the looks of it. Face-off put down, and the period will come to a close. Well, to an extent, we can have a chuckle because we're not playing. But for Ridgefield, no laughing matter. They are down 5-0 through 2. And they're being outshot in the neighborhood of 28-10 based on the numbers I've just heard. We will pause from here in West Haven, and we will see you for third period action. After 2 periods in the CIAC Division I first round game, the score, Notre Dame 5, Ridgefield 0. You're watching the 2026 CIAC Division I tournament on MVP TV. We get ready for period number 3 inside the Edward Bennett Rink from West Haven High School. With Joey, Justin, and Ben, I'm Rob. Thanks for hanging out with us. For the Ridgefield fan, it might be hard to look at. 5-0 the score. Notre Dame of West Haven very much in control. And at least based on what we were told between periods, that number of shots on net, bogus. They say no. I won't give out the name of the person that has a counter that is counting. Literally had a little electronic counter in his hand and showed us that James Britton has faced 41 shots through 2 periods. We are underway with period 3. Ridgefield in the black, working right to left. And a quick icing 12 seconds in. Well, the good news is there's no penalty. Look at it that way. 7 penalties in the game. 1 power play. Think about that. The only power play was a result of Ethan Kelly's cross-check 8 seconds into the second period. Puck out of the zone, but no matter, the Knights bring it the other way. Turned down, slides into the left corner. Ooh, and it's something coming here. Penalty, ooh, and things getting a little chippy. This is what we were talking about. A Knight dinged up at the other end, down to our left. And the temperature does rise. Skating off now under his own power is Xavier Jacob. And of course the crowd getting feisty. I should tell you, in full disclosure, we apologize in advance for language. It's bound to happen. Emotions do get a little crazy. And I have long believed, no matter where I am broadcasting, I still kind of honor the FCC rules of, you know, let's keep it clean, kids. That being said, I'm hardly a prude. All right, let's see what this is all about. No one has come over to the penalty box. That tells me something. Let's see. Right there. Watch 14 in green. Right there. So this happens 24 seconds into the third. We know that. And we await any news. With no one skate, now finally someone is skating over. Sophomore Giovanni San Giorgio goes into the box. They have put 7 minutes on the board. A 7-minute penalty. You heard that correct. We'll get an announcement eventually. Face-off controlled by the Knights. They have done it. They always do a good job at Bennett Rink of announcing things. This just sits in the slot, no one home. Unable to get anything on it. It's worked back out. Down to the other end. 20 seconds gone on a penalty that began yesterday, apparently. Skating out with it, Dylan DiCiaccio. So I don't know if you could hear that, but that's what I had a feeling was going on. DeMarco got a 5-minute, a penalty for a slew foot. I don't know that I've ever written slew foot on a high school scorecard. As this comes down into the Ridgefield zone. Then 2 minutes for roughing, 7 minutes total. He's not serving the penalty because he also got a game misconduct. My goodness. That is the bingo card of penalties right there. To center it goes. Taken by the Knights. Working in close, score. Dylan DiCiaccio gets his first of the night. The lead is 6. Still 5.5 remaining on this very, very long power play. To the right circle, turned across, and this is covered by Britton. 6-0. Notre Dame West Haven on top. And for the Tigers, with their bench right next to the Knights bench, obviously you still have to maintain composure. And head coach Rob Miller, of course, is going to do that. You're trailing by 6. You now have a penalty for 7 minutes that you're dealing with. A 7-minute power play. That's down to 4:58 remaining on it. Right circle again. Low shot there coming from Jacob. So Jacob, who received the slew foot in question, he is back on the ice. And there's 4:40 remaining on that power play and 12:14 remaining in the third. And coming back is Ethan Kelly. Firing! Oh my goodness! He scores! Off balance. Right there. I mean, that's literally sliding in the slot, letting it rip and going wee in the process. Climbs the ladder up there. You see it knock the Gatorade bottle. It's 7-0. By the way, talk about things you don't write down in your scorecard very often. The assist went to Aiden Sherman. The goalie got an assist. Power play goal, 2:50 into the third. Down the left side, Nethercott from behind the net. From the high slot, that got broken up a bit. Picked up though. Blake Delmonico goes left side. Held in by Mitchell. Here's Gavin Nethercott. Goes right side. Delmonico. And out of the zone. 11-12 remaining. Third period. 3:33 remaining on a power play. Turned across on a centering try. It'll come back out. Dean Scully sends it down the left side for Ridgefield. 10:53 remaining. Nearly turned over, but the Knights there with Brett Franco. A couple of Tigers with 2 goals tonight. Franco's one of them. From the left corner, out in front, net moved, and they'll have to blow the play dead. So things stop there. 3:01 remaining on this long power play. And 10:36 remaining on a Wednesday night. So we look at the replay, and you can see the net going right there. Bennett Rose was in the middle of that. Tigers get the face-off, but held in from the point. It'll pop behind the net. Buchanan awaits on Saturday. That much we know for sure. Beyond that, I looked again between periods. I cannot find any scores for you. Far side, Feuerstein picks it up for the Knights. Works it back out. Snuck away to the blue line. And sent into the Knight zone. Aiden Sherman plays it. So Aiden Sherman with a point on the scorecard tonight. As Madnick brings it across down the right side. Action out in front of the net. And cleared. Down to the other end it goes. Race is on. kept away from Gallagher. 9:35 remaining in the third. Still 1:57 remaining on this power play. 3-on-2 coming down to the left circle. Drifted away, popped up, and covered by Britton. To an extent at 7-0. I'm not going to say they've let up on the gas pedal, but I'm not also going to say to you that that gas pedal is being pressed very hard by Notre Dame. There is something to be said eventually about sportsmanship, and that's a big conversation. Face off in the near circle. 1:48 remaining on the power play. Though I've long believed as they're coming back looking for more, but skating behind the net, kind of cycling. One-time blast coming, save made Britton. Far side, sliding down to get it Kelly. Into the corner, 1:28 remaining. I've long believed you can't tell players to not try. Having called quite a few in my career of watching these games. Left side, right side to the right circle. Twisting toward Jacob. Pressure back on. That pops up, hits some netting, and that'll stop play with 8:41 remaining. 1:06 to go on the power play. We have long had that debate. How do you deal with score control? I still remember watching a team literally part in a football game to let the other team score in the days of the 50-point rule. That was not what we wanted. Puck dribbles right down to the net and Britton covers. I remember another time a quarterback took a knee with probably 9 minutes remaining in the game. Again, not what you want. 8:39 remaining here. Both teams still playing hard and trying. It's 7-0. Face off right circle. Controlled save made Britton. And that counter just keeps clicking. Looking for more. Back it goes into the glove and he holds on. So 6:06 gone on this elongated penalty. She watched the action from behind the net. Dylan DiCiaccio is down there to take the draw for Notre Dame. Blockley sneaks behind the net. Wheels and gets it out of the zone, but down it goes. With the touch of the stick by Sherman, no icing to be discussed. Of course, still on the power play, so it doesn't matter. 35 remaining on that long power play. Down the right side and into the corner. At the point, turned across. And this will get covered up by Britton. 20 remaining on the power play. I wondered when we watched the replay of Xavier Jacob going down, but couldn't see much more than him going to the ice, as this is right back on net, held on to by Britton. I wondered, the way his body went down, was that going to be a slew foot call based on the reaction as well of the Notre Dame players, and that turned out to be the case. Covered up again. Another face-off from the near circle. 8 remaining on the power play. And everything has expired. So we play on. San Giorgio comes out of the box. He was serving all the penalties. That's a long time to sit in there. 7:22 to play. And the Knights keeping the pressure on. They go far side. 7:12 remaining. In the corner. And wheeling to get it out of the zone. They do. Back to the other end. Back clock will continue to drift down. Right circle, swept across, turned out of the zone. Quick turn there. Quinn Comer comes and picks it up for Notre Dame. And they will blow things dead right there with 6:39 to go off an icing. It'll feel a little more like hockey weather once again, really after tonight. We had these days of high 60s and even 70 degrees around this region, but it's going to get cold again. I even saw talk of, I can't even say the word, starts with S. You know it. Not the bad one, to be clear. Despite it including 4 letters, it's just 4 other letters, with S being one of them. 6:14 to go. But yeah, I did see talk of something, I don't know when, so not time to get excited yet. Back to the far point. Near side and into the corner with 6:02 remaining. 7-0 Notre Dame of West Haven on top of Ridgefield. Nethercott from the left point and down the left side. Heading into the corner, Battipaglia down there as well. Left side, and there's just been a night on top of everything this evening. Sometimes it happens. Right corner, 5:35 remaining. Heading over to the left corner. And finally worked out of the zone. Comer will go back and get it. Send to center. And yet we're about 2 weeks away from at least the prep schools getting started in baseball. Cross as well. Spring is literally right around the corner, and now we do get a penalty. See what's going on this time. Did not see an indication from the official. Cross-check it is. And it's Scully going off for Ridgefield at 9:57. Minutes on the board, so think about it. Right circle. They'll keep the pressure on. So Scully for cross-checking. The Tigers are going to have to kill off more than 9 minutes in penalty in this period. That's more than half of the third period. 4:35 remaining. And Notre Dame with a 7-0 lead. 1:25 remaining on that power play. And down to the glove of Britton off the wrister from Jacob. 1:23 remaining on the power play. 4:25 remaining. And a quick personal note I will throw in after you see this replay. I have known Joey and I have known MVP TV for quite a few years now, and we have worked together on occasion whenever we can. And there's a block as it's turned back out. Sliding puck going the other way. Chance for the Tigers, maybe? No. Played behind the net as the Knights were able to catch up. But the other times I have worked with this wonderful operation, it has been remotely. From my home, whether I was still living in New York or from my home here in Connecticut now. 50 remaining on the power play. And in a 7-0 game, you can talk a little bit like this as it goes back to the other end. But Joey and I actually only hung out at a Ridgefield Greenwich game one night where we wound up working together because I was doing a separate broadcast from MVP. The point I just want to make is to work tonight with Joey, with Justin, with Ben. It's been really a thrill for me. As this goes up into the body, the save made by Sherman on the try from Couch. I was really pleased to get asked to do this game. It's been fun. Offside whistle, 3:15 remaining, 12 to go on the power play. And Joey knows, Justin knows it as well. They could have a high school tiddlywinks contest, and I'd be like, sure, I'll broadcast it. Why not? Tell me where and when. Face off outside the zone. The Knights get it. 9 remaining. Brought across and sent down. And Britton, who has withstood all of it. Holds it with 5 on the power play. And 3:07 remaining. Britton, a junior. This will come right back down. He went to cover. Power play expires, and it's worked out. Icing whistled. This is the kind of game, as you're driving home, as you're thinking about it tonight, as you're thinking about it all the way until basically November, it'll drive you. It'll stick in your craw. That was not how we wanted our season to end. But there is a point where you just have to kind of tap your stick to the other team. They got us. 2:45 remaining. It happens. Looking up ice. Tigers clear it. Nudged across the line. To the near side it goes. A little back pedal off Kyle Manfield, a sophomore for Notre Dame down the right side. Bodies colliding into the corner. Tigers will start back out with 2:19 remaining. But both coaches at this point just content to say, just keep cycling, boys. Skate it out and let's be safe. Tigers will keep the pressure. And Tigers want to score, obviously. Heck, if they could figure out a way to score 7, they would. Icing with 2 minutes to go. Did you get a look around this very royal blue facility? That blue of the Blue Devils. All on the trim and on the bleacher benches. But this is Notre Dame's home ice as well. Gallagher chasing behind the net. Back to center. Popped up. That'll hit some netting with 1:45 to go. So Notre Dame will head down 95 to the DIH, the Darien Ice House. Darien is also expected to play. They also have a quarterfinal game that night, so you'll get that classic Darien-New Canaan doubleheader that you get in that arena. They did some rehabbing to that several years ago. 90 seconds remaining, 7-0. Turned back to center. Knights bring it across the line. Down to the final 80. Turnover. Into the slot, reaching for it, but left behind. That'll get deflected and up into the netting. As Chris Caporal came down and played it. Freshman for Notre Dame. Our thanks to the folks here at Bennett Rink. We got some assistance throughout the day, and it's always nice to have someone just come by and go, you guys good? You all set up? You don't get that very often. Tigers chasing it behind the net. Lockley down there. Turned over. Spun to the point. 1 minute remaining. So the Tigers season will be coming to a close, and they will finish up at 8-15. Out it comes. Worked right down the right side. Notre Dame's going to improve to 9-13-1. And they head to the quarters. And if you get past the quarters, you will then play a semifinal at Quinnipiac. Spun around, Tigers will bring it with a half-minute remaining. Dropped behind. Sent down off the pipe. Crowd oohing and eyeing, in part because they still want the shutout. But Sherman couldn't come up with that one. Far side with 15. Punched back out and down the right side into the Ridgefield zone with 10. They'll be counting it down here in West Haven in a moment as we come down to 5. Down to 3 and 2, and this one is all over. And the Notre Dame of West Haven Green Knights win this one by a final score of 7-0. And in the end, as they always do, despite the growling, grumbling, they will still shake hands. So 38 saves according to the PA for James Britton, and we are saying that might be a load of malarkey, though we don't know that for a fact. And believe me, it's not really that big of a deal. Britton does skate out, and he is the first one to begin that handshake line. He got an appreciative hug from Nathan Marzak. So that's what I was alluding to a moment ago. You play these games as hard as anything. You are willing to give your absolute best. But at the end of the day, sportsmanship still rules. You may grumble and gruff and huff as you head off the ice. But chances are you know these kids through one outlet or another. Remember, so many of these athletes play some kind of travel or something else. They're at a camp or some other way. They know one another. The Knights had a little cheering section across the way. They go over and celebrate. The coaches all make nice out at center ice as well. And it's the nature of the beast. For Notre Dame, they now turn their attention to the number 1 team in the state. And let me tell you, we told you at the top of the broadcast that Notre Dame was listed as number 4 in the Game Time CT rankings. For good reason. That's a good hockey team. Can they give New Canaan fits? Oh, you bet. Oh, you bet. Get your tickets. Go out and check that one out. For the Tigers, hold your heads high. Hold your heads high. You got here, you got to the playoffs, you faced just a team that was outstanding. 7-0 final score from here. Truly a thrill to join you for this one as a couple of the players pose for a picture as Xavier Mitchell and Tim Gallagher pose for a photo. So as I was telling you, these guys know one another. Nevertheless, that'll do it from here at the Edward Bennett Rink. For Joey Delgado, Justin Cowett, Ben Rosado, and our entire MVP TV crew, I'm Rob Adams. It's been a pleasure to bring it to you. Not the result that Ridgefield wanted, but so it goes to close out the season. Final score, Notre Dame of West Haven 7, Ridgefield 0. You've been watching the 2026 CIAC Division I Hockey Tournament on MVP TV from West Haven, Connecticut. Good night, everyone.